Okay, so we've got this fascinating puzzle on our hands. You have a generation that's known for being pretty cautious, right? But they're diving headfirst into one of the riskiest investments around today. We are, of course, talking about Gen Z and their love for crypto. Let's dig in.
So what gives? I mean, how can the generation that's so aware of financial risks also be the biggest cheerleaders for crypto? It feels like a total contradiction, right? But you're about to see there's actually some fascinating logic behind it all.
And hey, let's be super clear about this. Gen Z isn't going into this blind, not at all. A massive 84% of them admit that, yeah, cryptocurrency is a risky investment. They know it's a wild ride. They see the risks, the crazy price swings. They've heard all the warnings. But, and this is the real kicker, 55% of them have money in crypto anyway. And get this, that is more than the 41% who own traditional stocks. Just let that sink in for a second. They're more likely to own some Bitcoin than a share of, say, Apple or Microsoft. That is the paradox we are digging into today. Okay, so to really get to the bottom of this, we've got to understand who we're even talking about. What is it that makes this generation's financial DNA just so different? All right, meet Generation Z. We're talking about people born between 1997 and 2012. These are the first true digital natives. They have never known a world without the internet. For them, the online world is just, well, it's just as real as the physical one. They grew up with the web literally in their pockets. And that digital-first way of thinking, it is absolutely crucial to understanding why crypto just clicks with them.
But it's not just about being good with tech, not by a long shot. Their entire view on money was basically forged in the fires of economic crisis. Let's take a look at how that shaped a completely new kind of investor.
Yeah, this timeline, it really says it all, doesn't it? Think about it. Their childhood was basically bookended by the Great Recession, watching their parents and families deal with that. Then they enter the workforce right as the COVID-19 recession hits. I mean, when you grow up seeing the traditional financial system stumble, not once but twice, you can't help but start looking for alternatives. And for a lot of them, that alternative is crypto.
So you see what's happening here. You take that deep-seated comfort with all things digital, and you mix it with a pretty healthy skepticism of the old way of doing things, and suddenly the appeal of a brand new decentralized digital currency starts to make a whole lot of sense. And this right here is where that digital DNA really comes into play. They're not getting their financial advice from some guy in a suit on Wall Street. Nope, they're getting it from TikTok, from YouTube, from Reddit. Their entire financial world is online, and guess what else lives online? The crypto hype. And this is the direct result of that. Look at this, 48% of them are using crypto exchanges. That's more than are using traditional banks or even financial advisors. They're just at home in the digital world, and these crypto platforms, they feel like they were built just for them. This quote from certified financial planner Stephen Roget, it just absolutely nails it. He says crypto feels native to them. And it makes sense, right? When you've spent your entire life using digital wallets, buying stuff in video games, living in online communities, crypto doesn't feel like some weird foreign concept. It feels like the next logical step.
And another thing, they are not afraid to go it alone. A whopping 70% of Gen Z investors say they feel confident handling their own investments. That's a full 10 points higher than all investors combined. They crave control. And crypto? Well, crypto gives them that control in spades. Okay, but you know the old saying, with great power comes great responsibility. And in the world of crypto, that responsibility is, well, it's immense. This is not a set it and forget it kind of investment. It's a high stakes game, and you are the one calling all the shots.
Let's just boil it down. Regulated stocks? They have safety nets. There are rules, there's oversight, there's some level of investor protection. Cryptocurrency? It's pretty much the Wild West. There's way less regulation, which means it's wide open to scams and manipulation. And the hardest part, if you lose your money, chances are it's gone for good.
And that expert, Stephen Roget, brings up another huge point. He says investing in crypto asks a beginner to act like their own bank. Think about what that means. There's no customer service hotline to call if something goes wrong. There is no forgot my password button to click. One tiny mistake, one lost key, and your money can just vanish forever. So what does being your own bank actually look like in practice? Well, it's not just about clicking buy on an exchange. Step one, sure, you buy the crypto, but then you have to move those funds off the exchange and into a private wallet that only you control. And then, and this is the big one, You have to secure your private keys. That's basically the master password. You have to guard it with your life because at every single one of these steps, the risk of losing it all is very, very real. So with all that in mind, how are you supposed to navigate this new world? What's the smart way to approach things when these exciting but, let's be honest, really risky assets are part of the conversation? I love this quote from Stephen Roach. He gives this perfect analogy. He says, treat crypto like dessert. That's it. It isn't the main course of your financial meal. First, you set the table with the basics, savings, solid index funds. And then, only then, do you allow yourself a modest portion of that dessert. And this is exactly what that balanced financial plate looks like. The main course is your savings and your index funds. That's the stuff that's actually going to keep you financially healthy in the long run. The dessert? That's the crypto. It's a small speculative piece. The whole goal here is to make sure your money is safe, even as you explore these new exciting assets. That way, if the dessert, turns out to be a dud, you're still full and healthy from the main course. So where does that leave us? What's the final verdict? Is Gen Z's crypto habit just a reckless gamble? Or is it the blueprint for the future of finance? The honest truth? We just don't know yet. But one thing is absolutely for sure. We are watching the next chapter in the story of money being written right here, right now.